Hi, welcome to my channel. Once again, here there is an interview which Rahul Gandhi, with a professor. Recently, I think it interview was held and they posted in Rahul Gandhi's channel even, and you might have seen all of you. But in glimpse, there are few major, important, and sensational points and the ideologies which Rahul Gandhi shared. Really fantastic and fascinating ideology which he has expressed in the interview. So they are edited and posted in some another channel, like this is the another channel which they posted. So just in 2-3 minutes, before that I request you all, please subscribe my channel and like the video, and please comment below the video. Okay, so let us see what Rahul Gandhi and the professor is also fantastic. His ideology, what he exposed, the real facts, he exposed the truth about the conditions of Dalits in India. Let us see actually what is the interview between these two.
And they will say to me directly that no, one must not expose this truth. Yes, you have the constitution that says all Indians are equal.
The social situation of the scheduled caste of Dalit, I think it's a very auspicious occasion because the 20th March we started the Mahan education satyagraha to have an entry to the water in the tank, and it resulted into violence. As you rightly said, the Brahmin priest in the city of Mahan purified the water by putting the urine of cow and milk. And they purified the water because it was polluted because of the touch by Dr. Ambedkar and others. And then, of course, Dr. Ambedkar got very agitated about this and a lot of pain, anguish. Then they organized a second conference on 14th, 2022, close to 4 lakh cases.
Here actually what professor says, he has given an example of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar when he was launching an attack against upper communities for a pond water. So we know that earlier, even nowadays, Dalits are not allowed to drink water from the wells of the upper communities. So somewhere in, I think 1929, somewhere, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has taken a movement for water, drinking water. So he encouraged few of his followers. He has taken them 10 to 15 or 100, around 100 followers. They went and they drank the water from the wells of the upper communities. And there was a huge protest and a huge uproar, and the violence has taken place, and they attacked on Dalits during that time. That is, violence and attack is not the issue. What is the issue the professor was expressing here is, they had taken the cow urine and a cow milk, and they went and purified that drinking water. Here the version is, Ambedkar drank the water, and because Ambedkar drank the water got contaminated, but you are purifying with cow urine. Is that mean that Ambedkar is not as pure as a cow urine, or the cow urine is more purified or more pure than Ambedkar? This is an example which he has given, that this shows how much discrimination on a Dalit in Indian context. That's what actually he is explaining that.
Cases of discrimination are registered by the under these two acts, Prevention of Atrocity Act, which comes to on an average about 14,000 cases per year.
There is a completely flawed.
Professor is also saying that from 2014 onwards, that is the starting of BJP government, from 2014 onwards till today, somewhere in 2020, not till today, 2020 he was saying that in the interview, there were about 4 lakh SC/ST atrocity cases registered in the government records. 4 lakh SC/ST atrocity cases. It means that on an average 14,000 cases per annum during BJP government it was, registered in the records of the government books. That is what actually professor says. Let's see what happens.
Concept of merit. Our education system or our bureaucratic entry systems are fair to Dalits and OBCs and tribals. I mean, that's just a complete fallacy because they're culturally not connected to these communities at all. So the entire narrative is an upper caste narrative. This notion of merit is actually itself an unfair idea. Yeah. The roots of these basically in the caste system.
Rahul Gandhi, he has given an extraordinary view on merit and reservation ideologies. We know that nowadays the BJP and RSS, they are promoting the merit ideology, and there are many people, especially the lower communities and all, they are still demanding for reservations. So Rahul Gandhi says that the merit ideology is an upper caste ideology, and the lower caste ideology is still looking for reservation system. What Rahul Gandhi says is the merit ideology itself is unfair ideology. Why he says that unfair ideology? Merit in the sense, people are arguing that you should give jobs and admissions in the colleges based on the merit, based on the marks they are scoring, based on the talent. That is actually merit ideology. Reservation ideology is there are some people who are left and who are not getting jobs, who are not getting admissions based on the merit. We have to lift them up, so give them reservations and lift them up is the reservation policy. So Rahul Gandhi says that merit ideology itself is a falsified. Merit ideology itself is a fallacy. That's what he says. That why he says that those who are lower communities, especially Dalits and OBCs, they their their living is completely different from the upper communities, and they cannot access these people's culture, access financially or culturally, they cannot access these people. So there is no point of going for a merit and do competition between these two. One is weaker, one is stronger. There should not be any competition between weaker and stronger and look for a merit. So that ideology itself is a higher upper community ideology, upper community version, and it is unfair version. So he clearly is promoting reservation system that give reservations to the lower communities and uplift them. That is what Rahul Gandhi was talking here.
And one has to recognize that the lack of any initiative by the high caste who practice discrimination against the caste system and institutional untouchability is the reason why the discrimination continues. The Manusmriti, they did not have any right to land, but by AD 700, the
Professor says that the reason for this discrimination and in India is it's not the lower communities, it is the upper communities who has to change their mindset. They have to think positively that okay, let us not show any discrimination in lower communities, and if upper communities thinks the change will take place, the lower communities, they always argue, they always cry out that we are being discriminated. So upper lower communities anyway, they are being, they're expressing or they're exposing themselves, and that they are under the attack of discrimination. But to stop this discrimination, there should be a change of thinking by upper communities. Upper communities thinks that okay, let us not go for any discrimination on lower communities, let us treat them equally, let us treat them also as equal as we are, then the change will take place. So the thinking of upper communities need to change, not the lower communities. That is what actually professor says that.
the OBCs were allowed to cultivate the land as a owner and even as a tenant, but the untouchables did not have a right to own the land. But the point that I am making is that the untouchables did not have a right to resources. We have given them the instrument through which they can have a political power.
And he says that in the Manusmriti, till 17th century, there is no right to even backward communities to own the land. See, nowadays we know that there are some landlords. So the backward communities who are called Sudras, as per Manusmriti, the Sudras doesn't have right to own the land. Only upper communities used to, and they used to have the plenty of land banks, and they used to cultivate the land, and they are the owners of the land. The Sudras and backward communities, they only can work with them and earn the money, but they cannot own the land. But in 17th century, they are given, backward communities were given right to own the land in 17th century. But scheduled caste means Dalits are still doesn't have that right till we get independent from British, I think, right? Somewhere till then we don't have, but SCSTs, they still suffer till we get independence, till the constitution was written, that article 14, everybody is equal. Till that constitution framed in India, the SCSTs suffered.
Power, but that political power is not sufficiently backed by the economic power or even educational power. The history of the Dalits, the history of the OBCs, the histories of tribals has just been eliminated. I never heard of a Dalit narrative. And then at the same time, there is this idea that is being pushed by the RSS and the BJP, right? Which is basically to destroy their history, to destroy the history of the Dalits and the Adivasis and the OBCs.
Research, writing, curriculum is in the hand of the high caste, and they won't write anything.
Rahul Gandhi said extraordinary wordings, and he said that the history of Dalits and Adivasis and backward communities were erased. They're erasing that. They are manipulating, they're changing the history of the Adivasis and Dalits, and they're only promoting the upper caste version of education, upper caste version of education. That's what Rahul Gandhi is saying that.
Anything about the other children.
But that history is not available through the main education system. Yeah, an upper caste boy or girl who's going to a school in New Delhi has no idea about this. That's how they can say things like, oh, I don't see any caste discrimination. Obviously, you don't see caste discrimination. So what they've done is they've given the lower castes the avenue of representative politics. And they've said whoever wants to become MLA, whoever wants to become MP can become. In fact, we will make them. BJP will make them. And then what they've done is they've taken the power out of the representation system. And where is the power? The power is in the institutional framework, except the representative framework.
For example, bachelor degree has been now made for 4-year duration. There is no reason why it should be made 4-year duration.
Rahul Gandhi, he used one term, that representative politics. What is actually the representative politics Rahul Gandhi used is, he's saying that nowadays the parties, especially BJP, of course he is congressman, so obviously he criticizes BJP because his opponent, BJP is his opponent, so he'll criticize. He says the representative politics is nothing but the political parties are saying that we made a Dalit a president, we made Dalit a chairman of so and so, we made backward community, we are given a post to backward communities, we made them MLAs, we make them MPs, and they're saying that we have given representation to this community, but they're saying that we are represented, that is called representation politics. It is not that you are making someone, they have fundamental right. That's what Rahul Gandhi says, that it's not that BJP is making someone as president of India, a tribal woman as a president of India. BJP claiming that we made a Dalit the president of India. It is not that what you made, don't they have a right to become, don't they have right to become the president, don't they have right, they have power, right? They also have constitutional right, they also have constitutional authority. They also have the political authority should be given to the lower communities and backward communities, but the BJP is only promoting the upper caste version of power, and they're saying that we are making them we are giving them opportunities. It is not that giving them opportunity, they themselves are constitutionally authoritative people. That's what he meant. That's why he used a representative politics a term.
Now, additional 1 year means cost. So Dalit and poor people will only take 3-year bachelor, other will take 4-year bachelor.
They'll be underqualified. they will be underqualified. In the market, if they go with 3-year bachelor, other go with 4-year bachelor, it is the 4-year bachelor which will go. So public education system was the instrument which was used by Congress to give access to the education to everybody. But eventually, over a period of time, we discovered that there is a huge privatization.
Professor made very serious allegation on 4 years bachelor's degree. The professor is making very serious allegation on the present government's 4 years degree option. So nowadays, the government of India has given an option an option to choose 3 years degree or 4 years degree. So it is not mandatory, it is not forcible to student to adopt 4 years or choose the 4 years or 3 years, but it is not a mandatory, but he said it is optional. When it is an optional, Dalits and lower communities and poor people, they will choose 3 years because they don't want to pay 4 years fees. See, the additional fourth year is an additional burden to them financially. So the government, the poor people, obviously they'll choose the 3 years degree to avoid extra year fees. But those who are having money, those who are from upper communities, they choose 4 years degree because they have money, they can afford it. So they go for 4 years degree. Then tomorrow these two people will go for an interview, and one is 3 years degree, one is 4 years degree, and obviously 4-year degree will be valued at the interview. In that context, Dalit will be discriminated there, and it is a disadvantage to a Dalit and who are going for a 3 years degree just to avoid 1 year fees. So you are making poor people useless, not useful even after making 3 years intentionally. This is a conspiracy. This is the serious allegation which made by this professor.
Privatization of the higher education and school education. Yeah, as of today, 50% of the universities are private. But I think the idea that truth of discrimination in India should be known to everybody. This is a powerful idea.
So that's what the interview, Rahul Gandhi says that this fact and fundamental facts and truths should be known to all the entire India. But unfortunately, the history of Dalits, the version of lower communities are not being taught in the classes and the schools and colleges. Only the upper caste versions are being taught. Even they are narrating in the textbooks, they are writing textbooks. That's what professor said in the middle, that the curriculum designers are upper communities, not the lower communities. So this is the reason that we are unable to give the Dalit version of education to the people in India. This is a very good interview I have found between these two people. So I liked this interview, so I wanted to present. So I have given you this. Please subscribe this channel. Thank you.